It is now 6 minutes to 7. This meeting of the Kiwanis Club of North St. Andrew is now called to order. I'm going to invite the following Kiwanians to assist with the opening exercise. For the national anthem, PPE Dudley. For the invocation, DP Howard. And for the objects of Kiwanis International, IPLG Hugh. Please stand.
Fellow Kiwanians, the national anthem. Eternal Father, bless our land. Guide us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil powers. Be our lives through countless hours. To our leaders, great defender, grant true wisdom from above. Justice, truth be ours forever, Jamaica, we love. Jamaica, 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 land we love. Teach us to respect for all, sir, response to duties called. Strengthen us, we to cherish. Give us vision as we perish. Knowledge send us, Heavenly Father, grant true wisdom from above. Justice, truth be ours forever, Jamaica, we love. Jamaica, 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 land we love.
Well, kick off piece of face, you know.
Let us pray. Father God, we invite your presence in our midst this evening as we meet for our regular meeting. Father, we praise your name and we give you thanks. We recognize you as the creator of heaven and earth. And Father, we just want to give you many thanks for the way you've been with us, this club, the Kiwanis Club of North St. Andrew. Father, we thank you for the impactful projects we have completed. And Lord, we ask that you continue to motivate and energize us to continue the good work we have started. Direct everything we do this evening. Father, we ask for a special blessing on our members that are sick. Lord, touch them with your healing hands and help us that they'll soon be back with us, serving the children of the world. Bless our president, the officers and directors, and every member of this club as we continue to serve the children of the world. These are the blessings we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Fellow Kiwanians, please join me in reaffirming the objects of Kiwanis International to give primacy to human and spiritual rather than material values of life, to encourage the daily living of golden rule in all human relationships, to promote the adoption and the application of higher social, business, and professional standards, to develop by precept and example a more intelligent, aggressive, and serviceable citizenship. Right through Kiwanis clubs, the practical means to form enduring friendships, render altruistic service, and to build better communities. To cooperate in creating and maintaining that sound public opinion and high idealism which makes possible the increase of righteousness, justice, patriotism, and goodwill.
May be seated. Thank you, PPE Dudley, DP Howard, and IPLG Hugh for assisting with the opening exercise. Mic check. Yeah. I'd now like to invite PD Kenton to do the welcome and roll call of clubs. Please welcome PD Kenton.
Thank you, President Jason. Let me officially welcome you, sir, to our meeting. And let me, by extension, welcome all the men from the Kiwanis Club of North St. Andrew, especially those that are signing in as we speak. Welcome, my brothers. Good to have you on board. We trust you had a productive day. We come to have an interesting evening as we learn new ideas of how to move our club forward. Let me recognize those Kiwanians that are online. If you are online, could you identify yourself at this time, please? Members of North St. Andrew.
Good evening, fellow Kiwanians. President-elect designate Damian Lawrence here.
Welcome, P.E. Damian. Good to have you on board. Any other Kiwanians online? Well, we have 22 members online, please. We have 22 Kiwanians online. How many from North St. Andrew?
Yes, good evening. Good evening, Kiwani and Stephen here. And good night.
Welcome, Stephen.
DP Norman.
Welcome, DP Norman. What about Kiwani and some other club, visiting clubs? Do we have any Kiwanians from visiting club with us online at this time?
Good evening, all. Kiwani and Ozzy.
How's it, Sharia? Good to have you, man. Long time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Any other Kiwanian, both from North St. Andrew and from visiting club? None heard. Can we take apologies for our absence and lateness? I know an apology came from
PD Kenton.
Yes.
This is DP Paulette from Friends Across the Borders.
DP Paulette, how are you?
See three. I'm fine, thank you. Currently, I see 3 of us, and others will be joining shortly, to include PD Telma and Director Owen.
It's good to have friends across border joining us online. It's a pleasure to have you on board with us. We trust you'll enjoy your time spent with us this afternoon. Thank you for stopping by.
Good evening. We also have representatives from Kiwanis Club of Young Professionals, Kingston, online. We have 5 members online currently.
Wonderful. Glad to have you on board with us.
All right, great. Thank you.
Any
Good
other
evening.
visiting? Go ahead.
Yes, good evening, PD Norman. How are you?
Also,
Hello.
Let's
good
say the
evening,
ladies
how are you?
first. Let's say the ladies first.
Hi, good evening. I'm President Eurydice from the Kiwanis Club of 23 Central, Surrey Online. And at this time, I'm the only one from my club, but I'm looking forward to this educational night. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure having you sharing time, space, and company with us.
You're
Go
most
ahead,
welcome.
the person who wanted to introduce himself. Any other
Good
club?
evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, President. Representing my president from Kiwanis Club of Geisel. I am DP Marian, and at the moment I'm alone. It's my pleasure to be a part of your meeting, and thank you for the invitation. Other members will be joining shortly.
Glad you could join us, DP Marian, all the way from Geisel. Good to have you sharing time, space, and company with us. Any other visiting club? Going once? Any other visiting club? Okay. Let's take apology for absence for North St. Andrew. Apologies for absence and lateness. Yes, Secretary John.
Absence, Treasurer Richard, he's overseas.
Okay, duly noted. Any other apologies for absence? Yes, press. He's here. Yes. Finally, welcome DP Neville, all the way from Portmore, Sunshine Community of Portmore. Good to have you. Good. All right. I think that takes care of a welcome, fellow Kiwanians. President Jason, over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, PD Kenton. Being that this evening is our education night, we will be recording this session and be posting it on our YouTube channel for future administrations. And for those who may have missed it, they can request it from us, those who are online, and we will share the link with you once we have posted it. It will also be on our kcnsa.org website under our knowledge-based articles. Are there any birthdays, anniversaries, illness, or passing? Hopefully no passing, no illness, and just birthdays, the happy thoughts. I didn't see any in the groups this week. All right, so none heard. Any online? Once, twice. All right, moving on. Each week, we have a Did You Know feature, which is our 50th year journey, which is done by our own DP Mark Russell. So please welcome DP Mark.
Thank you, President Jason, fellow Kiwanians. We haven't acknowledged the Kiwanians who have made us great. We haven't done that part in a while. We've been doing a lot of projects from this lectern. So this evening I want to focus on appreciating two members. One is here, and I've been delaying doing the other one for a while, but I'm going to do it today. Mike, help, because I don't want any other things. So no.
What is it? On the other side. Great job.
Look how that was easy. Problem solver, Mike. As past director, Stedman Peterson, aka Steady. Steady has been dedicated to this club for more than 3 decades, playing his part in making Jamaica and the world a better place through Kiwanis. Sponsored, I didn't have a picture of his sponsor, but sponsored by Kiwani and Maurice Jackson. Stedman loves to tell the separate joke. I really sorry he's not here. When he came into the club, he said he came and saw everybody signing KIW and he just put separate. So, but he has served as club director and a trustee of a long-term fund, and as a committee chairman, vice chairman, and are very ardent supporter of several committees, most notably fundraising, human and spiritual, SLP, and community services. I'm sure that those of us who remember the time that he usually arrives at meeting, I'm very surprised to see pictures of him being there early enough to make or receive any award. But we know he's more a benediction time in person. Photos I've studied at involved in club activities. A young steady and a young chairman at the time, down by Reddy's place of safety. That's what the driver used to look like, fellow Kiwanians, at one stage. More club activities, Meals on Wheels, that would be strong supporter of sports and games. Actually says he played the game at some stage. Blessed and infectious laugh. That's really the study that all of us know. Past Director Stedman Peterson, if you are online or not, all Kiwans of North St. Andrew knows your illness has really robbed us of your strong physical presence. Yet even at half throttle, you still support fundraising activities with a passion that demonstrates your belief for the work that we do. Kiwans of North St. Andrew's first 50 years have been enriched by Past Director Steady's membership. That is Steady. Second person probably didn't even know I have pictures of him. Yeah, man. It's soon down on you, Hugh. Past Secretary Hugh, and Dodds loves to tell us, what's the closest distance between 2 points? Certainly this cartoon kind of give you a thing. So it's always work in progress. So, but no, Past Secretary Hugh, you want to hear a nautical perspective that matter. Sponsored by the great BP Winston A. Patrick. Anyway, I'll move on from this page because I sure I asked, I got that's the answer I got. Anyway, Hugh calmly eased his way into active participation. Here we see a diligent secretary at work. And the next slide will show you a face that graced this very lectern recently. This was in 2008. Secretary Hugh supports and has supported several activities. Here we see him at church. Serious workday man in action. Next slide shows the, you know, when I text up with people, I guess I choose to take it. Here we see him helping the vertically challenged past president Calvers, who despite Bobby distracted him, he got back to serious work in no time. Secretary Hugh has offered himself to serve as a director for the next administrative year. And we know Hugh that he will bring a range of talents to the role. So Secretary Hugh, Director designate Hugh for the work you have done with the beneficiaries that we support. Kiwans of North St. Andrew express his thanks, my brother. We have finished that section. I'm just going to use the time up here to do a quick recap, well, not so quick, of the activities we have done since the anniversary launch of the 50th official. It have been 50 days, but we're just working with it. It's taking a while to load. Oh, okay. You have to click no windows. Anything else you will. Yeah, man. Yeah, anything else you will. Yeah. Welcome to 50 Shades of North St. Andrew. The activities we have done just over the last period have really reminded me why I love the Kiwanis Club of North St. Andrew so much. We enjoyed a mix of new projects as well as the regular staples. First one we look at is the distribution of helmets. A new project. We had a fancy launch at our general meeting. Storage became a problem, but very quickly the president used his contacts and we faced this sweat on my back, in the middle of the day. But a small team of us moved all the boxes and sorted them out for storage at that location, which work like well-oiled machines. See the oil in the back there. A couple weeks ago, we had a lovely day in Westmoreland. Total Energies owned by Dunbar River and Seaton Street accommodated us with our distribution, and fellow Kiwanians plans are afoot to return to Westmoreland further beyond that point. Such was the demand. Here are more picks from the day, including a pick of the weary team having post-project fellowship. And then I was able to capture our helmets in action, having just been distributed, gracing the streets of South. Help me with them, please. That's one helmet there, quick, gone, Andy. That bike wasn't so fast, but the things speed up. That's what that's a speed it move back. Health fair, our annual joint health fair with the Sir Optimist Club. We certainly took part in that again, included the helmet distribution in there. The activities that happened the day before the health fair or the evening are one that are activities that not many Kiwanians realize. What I work. This is the team. This is the team. There the night before, after we helped set up the place, so that when the beneficiaries turned up on Saturday morning, they would be able to just be ushered seamlessly to where they're going. This is the team at several of us there. You see that little circle, that's not my belly, that's actually past Vice President Wayne. And I'm so sorry my friend isn't here because I still going to show that little video right there. That's Wayne himself when he comes to our project. All right, we're trying to mute somebody before. Hey, mute your mic. But why you down there with the phone? That one, yeah, man. So that's weird. Anyway, Mr. Bobby. The YCPO committee had a couple excellent projects in between, not very well supported, but meaningful to the beneficiaries nonetheless. This was at Reddy's Place of Safety, and this was yesterday at St. Paul's. You see the chairman with a chair that was made for him. So that's the best way to put it. Certainly. Now I know why Terry don't left him. He really have some like a father qualities about him. A good boy when you see him with the youngsters. And play that video for this is a little treat from the morning. Make it play.
Jesus loved the little one more. Which other one? Right.
Well, so waiting that to come up. This little video came about is that normally Director Hopeton or PP Dudley or some other member who can handle that part of the program better would have been there. So when it was devotion time for Omar Joe Blanc, so I said, boy, bluff them, let them do their own devotion. So that is. Yeah. I have no two photos. I have no photos of the last two Meals on Wheels projects, but we certainly want to thank Past Director Jason for the diligence and commitment to the task. Both were done well, and the beneficiaries continue to benefit from DP Roy's legacy. The visit to members, an initiative which is being led by PVP Wayne of the loose button fame there. We have certainly been treated royally by the Kiwanians we have visited thus far. And again, the only appeal we could make on behalf of the subcommittee chairman is to Kiwanians, make yourself available when these visits are announced, because lots of these members we had good times with. So we had Kiwanian Roy Walker, we had DS Colin Eiffel and Mrs. Eiffel. Certainly Colin would have kept us there until midnight if he could. We have EP Henry and Millie. Audrey and Benny. This is another visit that came with fellowship of the highest order. You see the man in black and white in the middle there. Trying to see. Hold on, I'm trying to, oh yeah, yes, man. Full mouth. And DP Bernie. I remember we haven't really laid eyes on in years, so that was a welcome visit. Visits to widows and surviving children, being led by DP Franklin. This one is a tearjerker in a positive way. The absolute honest expressions of appreciation from the families is something you have to be a part of the delegation to understand. So I won't try and make it up from here. Remember, some of these individuals haven't heard from us in decades. So the initiative really touched them. I will end the widow of PD Ozzy. We have Lily May, DP. We make sure that Elaine and Lily May, we speak to them regularly, but it's good to visit them in this 50th anniversary style of appreciation. This is our 3 on this page. Daughter of PVP Jasper, widow of Kiwana Hector Sinclair, and widow of Past Director Charles Brown. All three and sent their best love to the club for remembering them. A full family affair at the house of the Wilsons, DS Harold's family, all sister, widow, daughter, grandchildren, family, friends. It was a lovely day. Bottle of scotch that she said wasn't open at the time Harold died. We got to open it, and we're supposed to go back and finish that her invitation. We're not carrying the secretary because she said she's a good friend of Ayrton, a school friend. That is the daughter said, Opal says, but we're not carrying Ayrton with us. And we have Vera, we don't have Past Director Audley Roberts. This one was Saturday. President and I represented at the 90th birthday party of Cynthia Pennant. And because she was so royally crowned and thing, we didn't ask her to get up. So we asked Asana to receive the plaque with Roy's name on it. But it was again just and for those of you who know the Pennant house, yeah, this is that like a fire era. You see how it is. Was transformed into a wonderful gala setting. So those fellow Kiwanans, those visits, there are many more to be organized. And again, we ask you, especially if it's someone that you really spent good time on the road with. Visit with us when we visit these families. The report gets more fun now. Local interclubs and fellowships. Kings of the Road. We had our plans tempered by the fact that many clubs we had targeted either don't meet face-to-face or don't meet at all. Here we see us visiting Constant Spring. Past President Dennis knows what comes next. Yeah, he's a star. But it says at Providence. And for those who have not journeyed to Montego Bay to interclub with Providence, yeah, here on Marmouth. Fellowship, Fellowship. And we didn't ask the vice president or Kiwanis as it to be on security duty, but that's I saw them monitoring the doors, I don't know, but as they reach out a road on them phone, and I know ASEAN line hearing, so I can take that step with him. But yeah, man, so more step to take with the ASEAN. But it was a lovely evening again. It's a long time. The Kings have not been on the road beyond midnight and interclub business, so it was a good feeling. Arden Key Club. So we mixed the available SLP meetings into it. So we have been doing the local interclubs. Overseas. This one is one that if you miss it, you just missed it. Nice delegation there. This is as you're on the dance floor taking pictures. Right. Kiwanis Club of Lauderdale Lakes. Coordinated by Past President Dennis. These activities overseas and the outer town ones are the baby of PP Dennis. So can also call ourselves Kings of the Skies. Not many times 10 Kiwanians from another country fly in and visit with us another Kiwanis club. So the sheer size of a delegation was enough to have them bowled over. At that meeting, Mikey, the son of the late DP Sam, at DP Franklin's invitation, attended, he and his wife. Mikey cried afterwards, but that is the presentation made to him with his father's name on it. And that's really the response we have been getting fellow Kiwanians when we make these presentations. But it was a lovely meeting. The fellowship in terms of conversation that followed. And then the fellowship in terms of food. I tell you, you'll believe that Dennis don't eat at home, you know. But there's worse to come. Barry, I'm not troubling you yet. Not troubling you yet. This, after we said, okay, we had fellowship there, I would say, all right, meeting finished now and we chat and wherever. But no strong drink was there. So they took us to a nightclub. I don't know, Barry must be the only man in the world who could find a drink like had to we could find a drink like this. But this is what Barry chose to have. However, had to we seemed to work. Press click the middle one. Had to we seemed to work. It got this out of Barry. And look at IPLG low playing drum. You soon see it. All right. Try not to fall asleep. And the vice president showing you how to have a dance with your phone. Click again. Low turn up the intensity in this one. Full time drumming now. The one them never fall off that chair. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Change it from. Some at the Kiwanis Club of Lauderdale Lakes, there was mention of a project, and again, being North St. Andrew, you know, if we're a project and we can assist, we will participate. So the next day, wait, 6 one. Oh, sorry. No, not that one. There's another one between. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. This now the DJ, you know, all the acknowledgement of the last delegation from Jamaica, his homeland, treated us to this song. Go on, please. Look out for Ozzy and DP Franklin in this one. That's it. Yeah, Ozzy there with the phone, taking pictures. Let's touch him again. Fine again. DJ playing strictly vinyl. It was vinyl Tuesdays, and apparently that's a weekly thing, a popular joint. Next time we in Fort Lauderdale, we need to go back there. Yeah, man, that's a drumming. Most drumming. Superb evening again, ending after midnight. I think we realized the Lauderdale Lake team needed to go home because they have work. So we eased them up and we left this. So there's a project that was announced during their meeting, and we yesterday decided. So it was something that we want to participate in. So here is North St. Andrew helping. Here is North St. Andrew helping with the packaging of supplies to go to Haiti. This was at the venue Food for the Poor in Coconut Creek, their headquarters. Our presence, 4 of us and a lot of other volunteers, but we certainly added some life to the room, and we at the assembly line really ticking over. In fact, it turned into an impromptu who can finish pack off their supplies first. And I realized Barry was trying to outdo my side of the team, that Barry and Franklin, so Omar and I picked up the pace, but all was in good fun. Wish more members could have been there. We eventually left as we were now heading to Miami-Dade with an important stop in between. When you roll like Rockefeller, you're going to see this now. Yes, man. The study man then driving through Miami Vice. Ah, boy. And call the man convertible Uber. Yeah. DP Ainsley and Janet hosted us royally, along with Laurel, wife of past President Dennis. If Derek was here, I would tell him that I represented him well. You see, yeah, man, he can't be in the kitchen like he lived there. For forts. but boy, but several. Because DJ's wife can cook, he decided to eat the most. But some biological things happen. President, the way I click it. No, over the few minutes later. You're not click it. All right, so a few minutes later. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, we had to lift clutch because we had to leave that fun and comfort. We were heading to Kendall, South Dade. You want to stop off Kendall. So I know DJ eat again down there. Anyway, we're not saying anything. It's me to know that the US German clubhouse and bar. So it was just the right venue for a Kiwanis meeting. Excellent fellowship, excellent brotherhood. Taking as a behind the people bar counter trying to get the right photo. Yeah, man, as it was busy. Probably trying not to get a strong drink, but yeah, well. Let's click there.
Like crying, I'm like, oh, not big man, but I feel like crying. Thank you so much, guys. And let's put it this way. To honest about now, just like, especially my heart and my mind, as it was yesterday. We have accomplished so many things back in those days in Jamaica. And we are still going. Thank you guys so much for visiting with us.
Kiwan, we're here in 1980, John Clemenson. So, charter president of the Kendall South Dade Club, and just our own stalwart. Yeah. Next. Go on, sorry. Oh, yeah. Go back to that one. Only, I leave somebody to ask our vice president later around the bar about that mishap that he had with the ladies and men's room, but say it wasn't in English, and just leave it to say Omar didn't go in the right room. I won't say anything else. The move on SLP rally, ably handled by DS Kishman. Again, a full line of Papu was there. They're full of activities, games, prizes, and surprises. And when you least expect it, a star is born. Click there, please. For those who were at the anniversary banquet, you'd have seen a video that a lot of effort went into it. Don't let the click again, please. Yeah, man. Don't let this and the battles that the food and whatever fool you. A lot of effort and time and energy went into the committee meetings we had at DP Conrad's house to produce the Golden Moments video, chaired by DLG Doug. And it was, we actually decided that we'd continue meeting in the name of the project for the rest of the year, but we haven't had a next one since. The banquet, the gala activity for the anniversary series in terms of pomp and glamour. Right, this slide I allowed, one reason I shared with DLG Lloyd Distant Senior, chairman of the committee that formed North St. Andrew, is that DP Judith was such a tremendous asset to the banquet committee that I had to single her out as well. A lot of the ideas that came out were because of her prompting and prodded. So yeah, putting on the rates. And then ladies out in there fine with the gentlemen, Iranians and spouses. Yes, ma'am. Wait, see the biggest picture there. The married man. Two of our 4 charter members who are still on our membership listing. So that would have been a proud moment for President to be handing that to them. Doug and Ashley. And there's a collective known for everything, you know. So there's group of presidents can be called a government of presidents officially. So we have the government there. In some ways, that committee really works like the government was of the club. But no, thank you, HP. Keep it clean. Yes, and many visitors from other Kiwanis clubs and local and abroad, as well as faculty advisors, were in the house. So it was a lovely evening. And we thank DP Barry for chairing, DP Linden for chairing that committee. The anniversary church service, ably handled by PVP Dennis Coinham. We had held at Sackstop, the church service, the church that we hosted our first church service 50 years ago. It was good to return. After the service, Paddy Watson Memorials, that also happened, wasn't part of the original plans, but it fell in place in the week, in the period, and it just was a good day. Old friends got to catch up. Children enjoy themselves, and not just enjoy themselves tremendously, but two of them walked away with gifts, vouchers courtesy of our sponsors. So again, that was a nice surprise for them. This is not one of this is actually Omar. Just don't look at the size, it's just not one of the children. And a man who graced the presence at the Youth Coaching Center for probably the first in 30 years, but DP Conrad was there and he just happened to win one of the gift vouchers as well. Fellow Kiwanans, 4 of the 5 presidents who the Youth Service Council between conception to execution and completion were there. The only one wasn't there was DP Foxy, and we know why. But yeah, so it was quite a good day in terms of who turned out. Star coordinators, as I wrap up, DP Franklin leading the charge to widows and surviving children. Vice President Dennis, the out of town and the overseas. Don't know if we can get into do any more overseas, but you know, Past Treasurer Earl, who ably led the tribute to the Kiwanans who have passed, and was quite a lovely function here. DP Linden with the banquet. Dennis with the church service. Ishman, the SLP. That man there. It's because I'm going to the video I showed him, you know, but we end with the visits to our members. As Mandela said, remember to celebrate milestones as you prepare for the road ahead, fellow Kiwanians. And just before I take my seat, this month, two big activities, one that requires your physical presence, the Labor Day project. All plans are being fine-tuned for it to be at the readiest place of safety. There is a little team involving DSDC president and myself were there today. Vice President Omar has been there a couple of times before. So we by board meeting, we should have a concept of the project. And yeah, the other activity. Anytime you come to the newspaper, you know, so under Jack buy off all the newspapers. We expect Omar to do the same when the supplement comes out. What we ask is for Kiwanians who still can to contribute and add or pave the way for an ad to be contributed through your contacts. And we look forward to an excellent supplement. That President Jason, fellow Kiwanians, I'll look at the activities that we have done since the launch of the anniversary series. Yeah. Go back. Go back. Yeah. Yep. Thank you, boss. Yep. Just when I try to escape, and I know the main presenter wondering if I'm not coming down. But I had aborted my did you know because two members weren't here and they turned up. So I just President has given me permission to just rush through. Yeah, man. Look. While it's loading, I will keep chairman of the Finnegan Committee. So we'll be looking at Treasurer Earl. Yes, ma'am. The infamous Finnegan Committee, sponsored by Kewan and Egbert. Earl is no stranger to the board of directors, having served as club director and twice as club treasurer. Served as treasurer for several of the club's fundraisers over the years. In his over 35 years of membership, although skillfully dodging the call of presidency. I'm looking at you, Earl. Skillfully dodging the call of presidency. He has been a tower of strength to many committees, particularly SLP, fundraising, community services, and youth services when we had it at the time. Love our work days. And yeah, this wasn't for him. This was actually at Senior Citizen Street. But love our work days. Earl will always be seen active at those things. Hands-on project, count on him for his support. See him in full flight at the last Kiwani's one-day project at Halfway Tree Primary. And more photos of Earl involved, COVID or not. As I said, Earl is just a good all-round supporter. Very ardent Meals on Wheels and Mary Atkins shelter participant. Earl is ever present from the preparation stage to the last recipient being fed. And he has organized, well, I mentioned about the tribute to the deceased members. Past Treasurer Earl, your contribution to the activities of the Kiwanis of North St. Andrew are well documented. We thank you for the dedication you have shown and keep it up. 50 more to go. Yeah, 50 more to go. And the last member that we will thank for their contribution during their time as on our membership roster is John Lowell. Hi. Hi. You thought you get where, but we big you up. Diligent member of the club for over 25 years, sponsored by past Director Ray. And yeah, and there are seats at the front. That's for the record. Yeah. Oh, you just don't know Ray at that age. Yeah, all right, yeah. Here we see him. Have him just installed as club director. More proud photos. This slide shows the past director being in the way, being serenaded here before marriage. The good support of committee activities. If Ian says I'll try, I think Ian means it, and you usually see him strolling in. If we have, yeah, that happens every week. Yeah. Every week. If you have ever heard, if you have heard Ian's story about walking around with a domino in his pocket, ask him if you haven't heard it, ask him after the meeting. No even is complete for him unless he has his little round around there. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Patrick is the only one that might know this. Only Patrick and I know the answer. What do Lionel Messi, Wayne Rooney, and Ian Shaw have in common? All right. None of them played for Liverpool. But if you ever hear Ian tell you Messi and Rooney, oh, Liverpool play. Maybe it's best you don't ask him, because he might still insist that that is correct. Isn't it ironic that there are so many stories of Ian and his wife to be, no wife, quite romantic. I'm going to leave you with this clip as evidence. Touch it, please. You lost the whole picture? No, the picture. No. All right, anyway. Go, Ian, go, Ian, go. All right, come on. It will, yeah, man, just leave it, guys. Check the clear. Yeah, man, so that was Ian in this very room, showing wife to be his dancing skills. All right. Past director Ian Shaw, for the life you bring to club meetings and activities. North St. Andrew is very glad to have you as a member. Ian Shaw. All right. Now I am officially finished, and all I will say, fellow Kiwanians, is that allow me to bring up the main presenter for the evening. This evening's education feature, we look at how the newly elected board is expected to use the next couple of months between now and October 1, preparing to hit the ground running. It's, in essence, the work doesn't start in October. It started from last week when AGM. Some of you already have board experience, whether here or in the corporate world, whereas the rules are somewhat similar. There are some peculiarities associated with the North St. Andrew board. And our presenter is an expert on handling matters like that. No stranger to the corporate district or Kiwani's board levels. Give it up for IPLG Hugh.
President Jason, fellow Kiwanians, physically here and online, members of the SLP. This evening, I've been asked to make a presentation on board and officer designated training. I'm going to be doing it in 3 parts. I'm going to be looking at why are we here? Because if we don't know why we are here, then sometimes the way we perform will reflect the fact that we are not sure why we are here. And then I look at the board of directors, which has the ultimate responsibility for managing any Kiwanis club. And then finally, I'm going to be looking at critical success factors with committees, because the board has ultimate responsibility for managing a Kiwanis club. And the committees, some of us can tell you, is the heart of any Kiwanis club, and therefore a major focus for the board and the officers. So why are we here? Can anybody tell me what is the defining statement of Kiwanis? Anybody? The defining statement of Kiwanis. Kiwanis is a global organization of volunteers dedicated to improving the world, one child and one community at a time. That's a very beautiful defining statement. And when we join Kiwanis, as we work through Kiwanis, we should always remember that we are here because we are serving the world, one child, one community at a time. And in that regard, Kiwanis is best known for its service leadership program. In the same way that Lions is known for programs to do with eyes, Rotarians are known for their lunches, Kiwanians are known for working with children. And we have a variety of programs. We know the big ones: Builders Club, Key Clubs, CKI, no longer Circle K. Because if you go to Halfway Tree, you'll see a little shop in Halfway Tree called Circle K. So we are now calling the college arm of our SLP CKI. But we have other programs. Kiwanis BUG. Everybody can tell me what BUG stands for? Bringing Up Grades, and the Terrific Kids program. So let us never forget that we are not really here just to tick a box and to get to awards. We are here because of the children. Now, how do we measure whether or not we are being successful? North St. Andrew doesn't have a challenge where that is concerned, because we've just gone through a 50-year history of what we have been able to do. But there are 50 more years to come. So I would suggest there are 4 primary areas where we can measure success. And the first area I would suggest to you is membership growth. Not membership growth so that we can get distinguished club status. Not membership growth so that members who no longer care about Kiwanis are kept so that we can get distinguished club status. But membership growth so that we can attract quality members in a regular cycle, so that we can continue to provide service to the children, to those in need, to the poor, to the elderly. Quality members are needed. Quality members are needed for a number of reasons. Some of us, I should say all, but some will die before others. Some will lose interest. We always need to be charging that pool. I like to say that membership is the lifeblood of Kiwanis, because without members, we will not be able to achieve our goals, which is to serve our children, one child, one community at a time. So that's one area of success. And a lot of Kiwanis clubs are having a challenge with this particular area. And I think primarily because we're not approaching it in the right way. But I'll speak a little bit more about that later. Community impact. That's why we're here. We're here to serve the communities. I think that a large part of the challenge that we're having is that Kiwanis clubs have lost that community impact. We have close to 50 clubs in Kingston, St. Andrew, and St. Catherine. So that community impact that used to be there is lost. I would suspect that many of the Kiwanis clubs, if they were in a twinkling of an eye to cease to exist, nobody would miss them. And that is the definition of whether or not you are impacting your community. That if your Kiwanis club should cease to exist, the community would be poorer because of that. The third area that we need to measure success is what I would call visibility. And why is visibility important? Visibility is important because it's tied to the first measure of success, which is membership growth. You want people to know what Kiwanis is doing so they'll be attracted to our values, to our objects, to our defining statement. And if you're not visible, then nobody will be interested. But you also need to be visible so that you can attract funding, because people like to be associated with success. So the corporate companies, the foundations, if you are visible, will be more likely to support your projects and provide you with funding. So visibility is important. And then finally, this is the second arm of membership. We spoke about membership growth, but we need to speak about membership engagement and membership retention. So as DP Mark indicated, in recognizing the widows, the children of Kiwanians who have served, we are actually doing a lot of membership engagement, because some of those persons will be so impressed by what we have done that they will speak well about Kiwanis, and hopefully we'll get a couple of quality members, maybe not immediately, but eventually. So we need to take care of our members, because if we don't take care of our members, then our members cannot take care of the community, the children, those in need. It was just last week I was speaking to somebody and says that one of the reasons why customer service is so poor in Jamaica is that if you are not satisfied with yourself, then you can't satisfy anybody else, because it has to come from you to somebody. So it's very important that we satisfy our members. So that is the framework within which I want to talk about the new board, the new directors, and the new officers. Because if you don't focus on your values, if you don't focus on why you are here, then it's very unlikely that you will do anything near to a good job in terms of managing the North St. Andrew Kiwanis Club, or any Kiwanis club for that matter, because we have other Kiwanians interclubbing with us digitally. So let's speak about the key roles and responsibilities of boards and officers. The first one is really the most important, which is generally to manage the club and ensure that the club is properly run and effectively serves the various communities that it exists to serve. That is the overarching responsibility, so that directors can't say that it is somebody else's responsibility. It is the responsibility of the directors. They may delegate various aspects of the management to chairmen, to other persons within the Kiwanis Club, but it is there. You can't delegate away your responsibility. Now, there are certain key aspects within that broad area of management. The Kiwanis Club has to be governed by policies and procedures, and the board is ultimately responsible for those policies and procedures, for ensuring that the policies and procedures are relevant, and if they aren't, to ensure that they are changed. You're also responsible for approving the projects that the club does, ensuring that those projects are properly developed, properly managed. And finally, as they would say, money is important. So the board is responsible for approving and then having approved the budget, ensuring that it is spent properly and we get value for money. So those are the overall broad responsibilities of the board. And I'd like now to focus on some of the responsibilities of the key officers. And I start with the president. And what I have here is that the buck stops with you. And I can tell you, starting with President Jason and going right back to the charter president, all presidents know that the buck stops with you. Because when things need to be done, typically the president has to be involved. But the president also has certain specific responsibilities in terms of club meetings. The president presides at the club meeting. The president provides leadership for the board, provides leadership for the chairman. In fact, the chairmen are appointed by the president. They are not elected. And the president is responsible for ensuring that the board acts as a proper board of directors and discharges its responsibilities. The secretary. The secretary is the unknown hero. The secretary is the workhorse in any club. The secretary is the one who ensures that all of the administrative aspects of the clubs is kept properly functioning. There are some specific responsibilities in terms of correspondence, ensuring that correspondence is properly received, it is properly acknowledged, and that a response is given, and it is properly restored. Unfortunately, North St. Andrew has fallen down on this because I don't suspect we can find a lot of the correspondence that the club has received, valuable information about the history and the work of the club. In this modern digital age, the club operates the district, the division, Kiwanis International operates digitally. So now, when I was secretary, I had to fill out, when Mark was secretary, we had to fill out these reports. We had to go to the post office, ensure that they are mailed on time. All of that is history. Everything is done on a dashboard. And, unfortunately, I would say that some of the manual reports are done better than what goes on the dashboard. But it's important that that dashboard is updated by the secretary, because that is how the division, the district, and Kiwanis International will know what is being done. And one other important duty of the secretary, which I think might have died a death long ago. The secretary is the officer responsible for receipting all clubs paid to the club, not the treasurer. Treasurer is responsible for lodging those funds and reporting on those funds. But it's the secretary who is responsible for receipting these funds, and it's an important part of what those of us who are accountants call internal control, to ensure that funds are properly recorded and managed. So I mentioned the treasurer. The third important officer that I will speak about, that person is responsible for lodging funds and for ensuring that the financial statements, the monthly reports are properly recorded and provide evidence, fiduciary evidence, that monies that we collect from the public are being used properly. That is almost sacred responsibility of Kiwanis clubs, because we take funds from the public on the premise that we're going to use it for those who are in need. One final responsibility I want to say about the treasurer is that the treasurer, every treasurer is responsible for ensuring that his year having ended, he organizes for the records to be audited so that they can be presented at the annual general meeting, because it is those records which ultimately are the evidence that we have been proper stewards, proper fiduciaries of the monies that we have received from the public. So let me move on to directors. Directors and chairman are the heart of any Kiwanis club. And I would hazard a guess to say that if your directors are not performing, if your chairman are not performing, then the club will not perform and the president will have a very, very terrible time in his year as president. Now, what I said earlier still holds. Directors are ultimately responsible for everything that is successful or that goes wrong in the club. You are the ultimate. You are responsible for working with chairman and ensuring that the proper planning is done prior to the year. So your work as a director does not start on October 1. And I commend President Jason for organizing this training early so that directors and officers can be properly briefed on their responsibilities. So in that regard, can I have a show of hands of the directors and officers who are present physically? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, P's online. So there are 7 present and 1 online. So
Secretary and Assistant Secretary.
who are they?
He was a Assistant Secretary.
All right. So it's 7, 8, 9.
No.
No, we have secretary and assistant secretary.
Beside you,
Secretary designated can just stand up so they can see you.
Yes, yes. So not a bad showing. We would have wanted all to be present. No, the directors are, thank you, Kimo. The directors are primarily responsible for guiding, mentoring, monitoring, and managing the chairman. The chairmen are usually the youngest in the group. Typically, you come in your first year and you're allowed to cruise if you are fortunate. If not, you are thrown into the deep end like some new members in this particular year. But typically in your second year, you're given some responsibilities for for chairman, and therefore you need the guidance of directors, and we're assuming that the directors are experienced Kiwanians. Now, one important channel of authority and management for directors is the board meetings. So when we have challenges with Kiwanis clubs, including North St. Andrew, having a quorum, it's a clear indication that things are wrong, because the directors and the officers are key to the management of the club, and therefore they should be there to ensure that a quorum is there at the start at 7 o'clock. And we don't have to be calling, because clearly you're not discharging your responsibilities. So not only are you supposed to be on time for board meetings, you are supposed to participate and lead those board discussions. And it shouldn't be necessary to have the directors at the front to ensure that they participate. Wherever they are in the room, they should be participating and providing guidance to the chairmen who are there. Now, all aspects of the club are areas in which directors. So a director is not a director for community services or for Key Club. He's a director for all aspects of the club's operations. So you need to be attending projects. You need to be interclubbing. You need to be attending club meetings. You need to be attending board meetings. You need to be assisting with membership recruitment, with membership retention, with membership engagement, all aspects of the club responsibilities are areas in which the director should be focused on. So if I say nothing else, remember that word, all. Directors are responsible for every aspect of the club's operations. Now, my final discussion is going to be on committees, because as I said earlier, if committees do not function properly, it's hardly likely that a club is going to perform successfully. And I would suggest that there are 3 or 4 areas, what I call critical success factors for committees: innovation, planning, monitoring, and participation. So let me deal with each of those. Innovation is important because what worked 20 years ago is not necessarily what is going to work now. 20 years ago, bingos were the craze. Every weekend, there was a bingo at this very location, Police Officers Club. So North St. Andrew became Ronnie Williams, sorry, yeah, you're correct, Ronnie Williams, not Police Officers Club. Right beside Police Officers Club, Ronnie Williams. And North St. Andrew made a lot of money through those bingos. But as I said, nothing lasts forever except, okay, so bingos now are as rare as anything. So that clubs have to innovate. They have to every year look at the projects they're doing, both service projects and fundraising projects, and decide, has this one served its useful life? Can we do something else? So I must commend President Jason on the helmet project. If you look at the fatalities in Jamaica, that helmet project is going to save lives and is an excellent project and a new project. So we shouldn't just keep on repeating the same projects every year unless they are serving their purpose. Like the Royal Pen and Meals and Wheels, that will never die, or hopefully it will not die in my lifetime. So that's innovation. Secondly, planning. Generally speaking, Kiwanis clubs now are doing lip service to planning. Planning needs to start right after your AGM, when responsibilities in the main have been decided on. Committee chairmen need to start meeting with their directors. You have to start that process early so that you will complete the process and be in a position to have plans approved by October 15th. Now, in some cases, planning needs to start a year before you take office. The president-elect, the reason for a president-elect is that he will use that year to start planning. You need to write this down in your history books. The only year when yours truly was a top 10 interclubber was my year as president-elect, because I knew that I had to go out, meet the clubs, meet other Kiwanians, see how things were being done. And I was a top 10 interclubber. So the year President-designate Kenton fortunately doesn't have that problem, because he has already served a year as president. So he should be familiar. But generally speaking, most presidents waste their year as president-elects, and it comes back to haunt them. Third factor I spoke about was monitoring. And I'm speaking about monitoring within the context of the board of directors and officers. There should be no board meeting where it is said the chairman is absent, so we cannot have a report. That should never happen, because there should be a director who is assigned, working with that chairman, guiding that chairman, who can step up and present the report. And if that is not happening, then it means that the chairman is not getting the guidance he needs, which is likely to result in projects not being properly planned, executed, and reported on. So the responsibility that when you're a director, it's not a year of vacation. It's a year in which you are working with your president to ensure that the club is successful. And then finally, participation. You cannot be a director if you do not participate. You have to participate in every aspect of the club's operations in order that you are familiar with what is happening, so that you can lend guidance, assistance, and mentoring and help to ensure that the club meets its goal. That is my presentation. It has been a long night, but I'm hoping that my words have fallen on fertile ground. And I wish for the incoming president, President Kenton, and his team a wonderful year. Thank you. Oh yes, the LGE Azi.
And I realized that
I will summarize for those online.
okay, I'm saying that speaker said everything is now in the computer. That's what the father said. You are the history. Where is that for in the club of us there? I will tell you something. Pastor, based on myself into the office sometime last year. The office being around the road, to look at it ahead. Because further that is that we are looking for them. They don't exist in the office. So where those ones find them?
Okay.
Like to see that the secretary ignored the probably 5-10 years that there's an office so everything should be stored. Because we want to do this. Okay. Part of the responsibility of the secretary should be to ensure that this is a limited item, what is a limited item, but an annual service is something to register. But that's not been done for years, because we need to train the secretaries that it is a requirement. We even don't do the office. We can find those areas. So really a storeroom or another office, and that is registered legally and officially. It is the office of the foreign. So where will that is Secretary reports minutes be stored.
Okay, so for those of you who are online, DLG Aze asked a question about the storage and retention of club records. As I indicated in my presentation years ago, it was physical paper. Unfortunately, notwithstanding it was physical paper, when DLG Aze went down to Manhattan Road, he couldn't find much paper. So it being committed to paper and writing doesn't mean that it will be there for posterity. In terms of the online digital records, I believe President Jason has a plan to create an online repository. So he has created an online repository, and that online repository will exist for future generations in North St. Andrew so that we have a better chance of finding that record in the online depository that has been created than in the paper that was created 20 years ago.
Where will that be stored? Because if you guys stored it online where?
In the cloud, in the cloud.
I'll answer the question for you.
All right. Yes. President Jason will speak.
All right, so DLGE Ozzy, just for educator purposes, the first thing is I applied to Microsoft and got a 10-year grant for online storage. And with the administration, as we go, what it is that I'm trying to formulate is an IT committee within the club that will enable continuity where the administration is concerned. For example, let's say we have secretary, no, let's not say we have secretary at kcnsa.org. We have president at kcnsa.org. And we also have treasurer at kcnsa.org. Now, these mailboxes and storage will be handed over to each administration as they become effective on October 1. Now, what we have in there, I have been diligently storing information since I started as a member here at KCNSA because I saw the need for us to have continuity. Now, what we have there, we have minutes, reports that were submitted from various chairmen, decisions that were made. The treasurer has all the details in terms of all the reports that are there as well in a file, in a folder that is accessible, that will be accessible to the incoming administration. That way they can continue with the structure that is put in place so that future administrations will have the ability to access this information on the fly. They won't need to go to Manhattan Road to go and dig up the printed materials that are there in the Secretariat. But should the materials need to be printed, the availability of this online cloud storage will be there. It is not a case where it is me, Jason McIntosh, that owns the cloud storage. It is owned by the club. And I am a member of the club. And I am using the facility while I'm in the administrative position. And then I will transition and show the various members of the executive board, the board of directors, if the board of directors, as in the directors, are interested in also that continuity. I have not put something in for directors. I put it in for IPP, treasurer, secretary, PE, and assistant secretary. But for the other positions, such as directors, because it's not a role-bearing position that you can say you're a director of membership. We don't have a director of membership, or we don't have a director of any of the committee, fundraising committee, but we have our chairman. And then the directors, we can look at a formula that hopefully by the time that PD Kenton goes in office, we'll have a solution for the directors for continuity. So that way we will no longer have an issue of knowledge sharing, because it is one of the weakest points I would want to say in any Kiwanis club, because I've spoken to so many presidents and I've heard the challenges they have between administrations. So this cloud storage would be administrated by the club, and there's continuity. So it's not owned by me. I am just the president as a member of the storage. Yes. Yes. This was not just to the officers, this was to the club as well. Yes, meaning that to be advised of the facility. Yeah, actually, I would want to say this. LGED Michael, while he was president, this is when we started the process of advising members of what the plan was. So when I became president, it was the largest point of getting this working. So it's just a matter of getting the incoming board to understand the process. So I'm going to hand over the president's account to PD Kenton coming October 1st, where he'll have access to everything that's there. It even has PR material and all of that. But let me not hold up because time is going. Can I ask a member to move a motion to extend the meeting by about 15 minutes? So moved by LGD, seconded by LGD. Ozzy, all in favor? Any opposers? None heard. All right, thank you. DLGE, Ozzy.
When I was president, when you were president, because Damon was assisting, Damon was the one that got that bill. So you might not have been personally involved in that because it wouldn't learn Marshall or Damon.
All right, so all right, so this might sound like a new word or technology to you, but we have a complete SharePoint library of information that's accessible to the club. And if you have queries and want to access it, just reach out and we'll show you how to access it. It would be 3 years ago is when I started collecting this information. 3 years ago, January, gone. Okay.
Can I? Are you asking questions? Are you taking questions?
Oh, there's a question online?
Certainly there is. Sorry.
Is that President Eurydice?
Seeing President Eurydice, you know I wouldn't miss an opportunity to ask a question.
Go ahead.
So my question is, President Jason, are you open to coaching and mentoring someone to another club to get up to speed like your club with that cloud sharing thing?
Yes, President Jason has indicated that he is.
Sorry, I alluded to saying this, but I'm going to say it now. We actually have 3 Kiwanis clubs that we have sponsored through our Microsoft grant access to a resource that they can use for their own club to do the same at no cost to those clubs. So we have them on board and we can onboard you in that as well.
Thank you so much. We do appreciate that onboarding opportunity. Thank you.
Right, just reach out to me directly, please. I think we're in the same president's group, no?
Yes, we are.
Right, so you can reach out to me and I will share with you the details and we can discuss further.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, thank you. I think the last question is for DP Mark.
Not so much of this, but something which the presentation that we have been doing for years. I will be get focused on the importance of board member understanding that their financial obligation. Sometimes maybe I genuine feel, but I get the impression that it's a nonchalant store paid. That's a function given to our board member. It can be hard somebody else's opinion. So they have to understand. Every board member needs to understand. Goes down the car or the club, down the moral responsibility.
For those online, that was DP Mark, and he was highlighting the need for board members to understand that as part of their role of management, as part of their role of leadership, that they need to be the first to pay their dues. And I don't think I need to reinforce that particular point. What I'd want to say is that the roles in a Kiwanis club, whether it be officer or board roles, are so important that when you are approached, you need to consider carefully whether or not you can carry out that responsibility. You can't say that you're going to be a board member and then you say that you can't pay your dues. If you feel that you're going to have a difficulty paying your dues, then you might need to reconsider offering yourself for leadership. So that because you're approached for a leadership role in the club doesn't mean you have to say yes. It means you have to consider your circumstances. And based on your circumstances, you should then decide if you're going to take it. As a matter of fact, just in the AGM that North St. Andrew had, a member who had accepted a role stood up and declined because his circumstances had changed. So he was not a prisoner to the fact that he had accepted, because he knew that if he was a prisoner, he would not be able to faithfully discharge those responsibilities and therefore declined.
When you speak to a friend, anyone like join another organization, and you can get first that the process of work, and you're not idea what did it cost? It was cannot manage that. You don't bother inviting to their So I think we should do the same thing with Kiwanis. Tell him the cost of Kiwanis. If you cannot afford it, if you cannot really afford it, you would prefer not to have.
So for those online, DLG, as I was making the point that in recruiting members, you need to properly outline the financial costs of Kiwanis membership, and you should tell them that whatever the financial cost is, it is vastly outweighed by the benefits. But don't scrimp on the cost. Don't tell them that the dues is 14,000, so that's all you need to worry about. Because we know that when we come here, Jason is going to tackle us for contribution to Meals and Wheels. So the cost of Kiwanis membership is not simply the dues. It is the contributions we make financially throughout the year, the cost of attending interclubs, the cost of attending conventions, etc., etc. But you will also tell them that notwithstanding the cost of all of that, the benefits that you get are much more. Thank you very much.
I think he deserves a better round of applause than that. Excellent presentation, excellent presentation. Okay, I'm going to actually have to step away briefly from this meeting. My daughter, who is next door at the Ronnie Williams Center, was participating in a dance competition, which they have won gold. And unfortunately, I wasn't there to see it, but I've been getting snippets from them as to what is happening there. But she's now ready. So I've asked P.E. Kenton to take over from where I am here, P.D. Kenton. But I'm going to ask D.P. Franklin to approach the lectern and give us an update on the member visits and the plaques which were being handed out. So please welcome D.P. Franklin.
Thank you, President J. So fellow Kiwanians. The evening is, well spent, so I'll try to be as brief as possible. Let me first, though, thank DP Mark for that presentation he made. He covered quite a bit of what I'm gonna say in terms of the presentation of the plaques. And, when I think about it, the amount of work that must have gone into the preparation of that presentation that Mark made, I think we need to give him a special round of applause. Okay, so fellow Kiwanians, we are engaged in this project to visit the widows and the children of our past or deceased Kiwanians who have served well over the years. Mark gave us some example of the quality of the reception that we have gotten. The visitation is really to recognize and to remember, these past stalwarts. The highlight of the visitation is the presentation of a 50th anniversary plaque which, you know, a small 5x7 glass plaque, something that they can place on their whatnot, their center table, wherever. And like I said, members, you know, the persons who we have visited have really expressed tremendous gratitude in our visit and presenting this token to them. All Kiwanians, fellow Kiwanians, are invited to participate in this activity. And, you know, at the end of my presentation, I'll just remind you how you can participate. To date, we have identified 84 of our deceased members or past Kiwanians, or Kiwanians who have passed. We have so far made contact with 42 of the families of these Kiwanians. We would like to increase this amount to a minimum of 50, hopefully 60, but certainly 50 in recognition of our 50th anniversary year. With your help, fellow Kiwanians, I think we can, you know, increase the 42 to beyond 50. To date, 27 Kiwanians have assisted in the purchase, have committed to the purchase of plaques. The plaques cost $4,000. And like I said, 27 Kiwanians, some of them have committed to underwrite the cost of one, some two, and a couple even three. Again, we would love to increase this involvement from 27 up to 50. So there is still a lot more. I'm looking now, and I see a number of Kiwanians in front of me who have not yet committed to support this project. The protocol, fellow Kiwanians, is that visitations are done at the convenience of the widows and children. And in fact, this is one of the reasons why we have not done more than we have done so far. This is not one of the projects which was meant to be done within the 50 days. In fact, this is a project which will continue until the end of the administrative year. What we do is the day before, we will, you know, send out something in the WhatsApp group in terms of where, you know, who we'll be visiting, and we'll ask the Kiwanians to contact the person who is arranging the visit. This is important, and at that time we would provide the exact location, you know, or where the visit actually will be taking place. This, like I said, so far, about 20 Kiwanians have participated directly in these visitations. And we would love to increase this number again to a minimum of at least 50. How can you participate? You can participate, fellow Kiwanians, by assisting us in identifying the families of the deceased members. Tomorrow, I'm going to be putting in the WhatsApp group the names of the Kiwanians, the 42 names who we have not been able to identify or make contact with their families. So one of the ways you can participate is by, you know, telling us that you have some contact, whether with the widow or the children of the deceased member. Another way is to contribute towards the $4,000 towards the purchase of the plaque. That maybe is the easiest thing that any of us here can do. And the third way is to be a part of the visitation team. I can announce that one of the visits we are working on currently is to visit with life member, the family of life member, Horatio Dunn. It is a very strange time for us to visit, in the sense that they lost one of their daughters suddenly. She was living, I think, in England. The body is finally out, and actually the Thanksgiving service is going to be next week, Saturday. We are working on, all the children are here, and we are actually finalizing arrangements to visit with the family next week, sometime next week. Once it's confirmed, fellow Kiwanians, I will make it known and invite Kiwanians to be present when we visit the family of past director, charter member, and life member Horatio Dunn. You can make contact with myself or the other members of the committee who are DP Mark, DP Owen, DP Leroy, DP Howard, DP Winston, and past President-elect Dudley. Fellow Kiwanians, like I said, 3 easy ways to participate. Help us identify the members, contribute towards the purchase, and be a part of the visitation team. Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
But in the past, all of us could.
Yes, yes.
Point out that we know who chooses how many of the men. One you know how many they will kind of
Points well made, past director. And let me just say that one of the things we ask is that anyone who is thinking of visiting make contact with the person who is organizing the visit. Let me just say that to date, the invitations have been sent out and there has been absolutely no response. However, I take your point, because if it should ever happen that there is any chance that we might be oversubscribed, and I would love for that to happen, then we will have to so advise. But I would love to come back here next week and report to the meeting that we had to ask someone to, postpone or to sort of arrange for another visit because too many persons, might have been attending that one. But it has not happened yet, Ern. But let us hope that it does. Thank you very much.
Thank you, DP Franklin. Very informative as always. We move on. This time we invite our Sergeant at DP Winston. Blanket Sarge. Okay. All right, in interest of time, we're going to do a blanket Sarge. I'm going to ask, who knows? It's nice to ask the Sergeant to collect for us. We're going to ask the Sergeant to collect for us. Thank you, Sarge. Thank you, Sarge. Blanket fine of $200 per member. And we don't have a joke. We don't have a salary, we don't have a joke, so we're going to move on. While he's collecting, I'm going to ask our secretary to come with the announcements. Secretary John. I don't want to overcharge him.
Is Sergeant fortunate these days? Eh?
Good evening, Kiwanians. Good evening, Kiwanians. In-house, online guests in-house. And before I get started, welcome Gabby and congratulations. Gabrielle McIntosh just won gold. Before I get started, VP Omar would like to make mention of the supplement that he has responsibility for. VP? You didn't feel like your audience. That's a update. No one is ever seen some synopsis at all. You know. There's an update on where the supplement is. So for a 10-page supplement, you need a budget of $900,000 for it to be successful. This year, our 50th year, we're using a bond print. Bond print, I don't know, I left it in the other car. But bond print is something like this, the white paper here. This is the regular print paper. So we're using this kind of paper for the 50th. More expensive, but I think it's a better print, better presentation, and it's 50 years. So we have to look good. So we're going to use that. However, bond print is a drawback to bond print. So our publication date is the 30th of May, Thursday, 30th of May. With bond print, you have to print a week prior to publication. So it means that the printing date is May 23rd. And we have to have all documentations in by May 21st to have that done. So that's the drawback with the bond print. The regular print, you could have done that. You'll have more time to submit the documents. But to go in the bond, so it's sticking with the time. Thus far, we have these 9 commitments for ads. Not exactly sure the sum total yet, but we have 9 commitments. And we want more. We're seeking some more. So I'm just making an impassioned plea for some more commitments from members, just for the ads, because we want to have a good supplement this year, the best supplement this year. We just have 9 commitments. So that's the plea I'm making, fellow Kiwanians. We just need some more ads. Anybody know anybody? Well, let me put it this way. Some Kiwanians can reach some members better than some Kiwanians. So if anybody could call another Kiwanian that I may not be able to convince to do that, I'd appreciate that. Just to get it going. It's not a matter of afraid, but I'll give it to you. On Monday we have not Monday, sorry, we have board meeting on Tuesday. So I'm hoping to vent out that part of it. As to who I'm looking at in the what's it called again? Register? In the register. Not the register, the register, right? The list of names is the register also? Directory, whatever, pretty name, yes. So I'm looking at some other members. I would have already given the coordinator of observer some names that she has been in contact with. But to get some more information from her between tomorrow and Monday to give a clearer picture of where we are. And I'll give a list of the members that other Kiwans can call on my behalf and our behalf of this. That's basically it for now. That's it for now. Yeah. Thank you, VP Omar. All right, so quickly. If you check the KCNSA group, you would have seen a message sent by IPLG Hugh. As a reminder, district convention registration closed tomorrow. So remember, it's in this month, 16th to 18th, Montego Bay. If you're not, sorry. So the president, there should be something on the side that there's a countdown in terms of the actual number of days, hours, minutes, and seconds before the convention actually starts. So really, really funny. But so remember, Thursday to Saturday, May 16th to 18th, Montego Bay, a number of members have registered already and will be present. We have already selected the delegates for district convention. And if memory serves me correct, the delegates are President Jason, IPP Derek, and VP Omar. But the president is at liberty to change that as he sees fit. So stepping back just a bit. So come this Saturday, Halfway Tree Primary, they're celebrating their 100 years of excellence. As a part of that celebration, they're having a blood drive. And that starts at 9 a.m. We are supporting that blood drive along with 2 other Kiwanis clubs. And I think UTEC is also involved in that planning and implementation. So members, if you plan to give blood, remember, have a good meal, make sure that you're properly hydrated, and come ready to give a pint. You know, you're going to save somebody's life. Now, on the 22nd of May, we have been invited by the Kiwanis Club of Capital City, Kingston, to participate in their 10th year anniversary. And this will be held at 7 p.m. at the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission. That is off Hagley Park. Yes, Hagley Park. So it's 78 CEF Hagley Park Road. That's a strange address, but that's what it is. But we have been invited by the president herself. So please let us support her. Yes, LGED. I appreciate that, LGED, Michael. Sorry. Can I just say DP, Michael? Right. So LGED, Michael. So the Wednesday is the 22nd, the Thursday is Labor Day. So that can serve as a makeup meeting for KCNSA by participating in the Kiwanis Club of Capital City, Kingston, their 10th anniversary. President Clover has noted. And that there ends the announcements. Are there any announcements from the floor? Does anyone have anything to share? Just as a quick reminder for all the members who had received Legion of Honor certificates, and the president has invited you to return those certificates to have them properly framed. Please share, either give them to any member at the head table and or the president. And we'll get that to the president to have it framed and returned to you. Yes. Sorry, say that again. No. The ones who have already returned their certificates will receive, they are framed. The ones who have already
giving the certificates back to the president. He will make their necessary arrangements to get that to you. No, you don't have to wait on anyone. President, over to you on this one.
Thank you, Secretary. So just to make it clear, the deadline has passed. If you missed it, you won't catch the shift. There are some corrections to some of the certificates. Just want you to note to be patient because these have to come directly from KI and there is a waiting period before we actually get it in Jamaica. It has to be made and then shipped to the address to get here. So there's going to be a delay. But for the ones who are just being framed, I mean, the certificates to be framed, those will be done locally and very quickly. So a re-representation of the ceremony is what I am hoping to achieve, because I believe in the quality of what this club maintains. And I believe you as a member is appreciated, and especially of our prestigious awards, such as the Legion of Honor, deserves a proper presentation. Can I see a show of hands who are here physically, who was registered for the district convention? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Are there any online in our club in KCNSA that has registered for the district convention? All right. None heard. Please reach out to me and let me know. Oh, sorry. Who is that?
IPP Derek. I've registered as well.
Okay. Thank you, IPP Derek.
I registered President. PD Dwayne.
Okay. That's 9. Late, not 9, 10. I think Kishman is registered as well. That's 11. I'm just trying to get a rough idea of what our delegation will look like for the convention. IPLG Lou, that's 12. All right, so the numbers are going up as we're realizing the various ones. Thank you very much for that. I'd now like to do our in-house raffle, the 50-50, which is here. Going to ask PDHP to do the draw for us this evening. PDHP, can you do the honors for the raffle draw?
Well, you are clean hand, pure heart. In I go. The ticket 9593.
9593.
Yes.
All right.
That is four, the 4 last digits.
Yeah.
All right.
959.
Let me audit it.
You want the glasses?
No man, 9593. We have a winner.
Excellent.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Do the presentation from at the front here. Let me take a photo.
No.
Excellent. Thank you, PDHP. Huh? Thank you. All right, please stand for the thought for the week and the benediction. It will be done by PD Kenton.
Unfortunately, I didn't even repeat what the DP Mark said. Fellow Kiwanians, thought for the week and the benediction in that order. Let's start with the thought for the week. Everyone has a will to win, but very few have the will to prepare to win. Could you raise your right hand with me, please? Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise him, all creatures here below. Praise him above the heavenly hosts. Praise Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Amen.
Fellow Kiwanians, guests online, visitors, my daughter. It is now 4 minutes after 9 p.m. This meeting of the Kiwanis Club of North St. Andrew is now terminated. Fellow Kiwanis and guests online, thank you for joining us for this education night. I will have this posted on our YouTube channel. And if you are interested in the recording, just let me know so I can send you the link so you can have it to share with your incoming board or members that you think would benefit from this lesson. Thank you and have a good night. Same time next week, Thursday, same link. So you can save the link to join again. Have a good night.